Hello, it is Bethany Baird, and I am so excited because today I get to help lead the Lies Young Women Believe Summer Book Study. And we are actually going through This Changes Everything, How the Gospel Transforms the Teen Years. We are working on chapter 2 today, so if you've missed the first week, I've linked it in the bio so you can go down, find the first video led by Erin Davis, who did an amazing job, and then today we are going to just study chapter 2, Our Story. So if you don't have a copy of the book, go grab one and go back to last week before watching this so you can be all caught up. But today we're talking about chapter 2, Our Story. And what I loved so much about this particular chapter is that she really challenges us to stop being so focused in on the here and now. So I know for me, so often I'm like zeroed in, like what am I doing today? What's happening later on today? Who am I gonna see? Who likes me? Who do I like? You know, all those little things. And I get so caught up that I forget the bigger picture, and I forget that my life is actually a part of a bigger story, and that's God's story and the Bible and the gospel. And so she takes us back to the very beginning of all time, to when God created the earth, and when all of that happened at the very beginning of creation, back in Genesis 1, showing us where that all started. And then she takes us to when God created the man and the woman, showing us that, wow, we were intentionally designed as female, that God had a great purpose and plan for that. Then she takes us to the fall, showing us where Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the garden and where sin entered the world. And from that point forward, we needed a savior. We needed a redeemer, a hero to enter the story and save us so that one day we could spend all of eternity with King Jesus, spending all of eternity and our lives with him. And so when you read this story and you think about, wow, my life isn't just about me. My life is about someone greater. It's about Jesus and the fact that he died on the cross and rose again to conquer sin and death, and that I can have a personal relationship with him because of that. And I can live every day to honor and glorify him. And I can live in light of the fact that if I am a Christian and I have accepted him as my savior, that one day I will spend all of eternity with him. And that right now my little story on earth is only a little tiny bit of the bigger picture, the bigger story that's happening. And so she really challenges us to think, like, don't just focus in on what you're doing right now. Think of God's bigger purpose, think of the bigger plan, and allow that to impact your daily decisions. Allow that to impact, you know, what you do, what you think about, where you go, the decisions you make. And she really challenges us to live with that in mind. And so I just want to close out this vlog by reading the very end of chapter 2. So if you go to page 42, she ends up by saying, our new worldview. God's story is now our story. We live in the chapter that's unfolding. This story changes everything. It means we have a new worldview, that is, a new way we perceive everything around us. Good, evil, suffering, sin, community, beauty, shame, time, and relationships. Your life is going to be different because you believe this. There's no way to get around it. If King Jesus has taken a hold of your heart, your life will be a risky and unimaginably big adventure. It's all about him. Now let's live like it. So I challenge you to think of the bigger story. Think of how you fit into God's big picture and how you are placed on this earth, and that you can choose to glorify him and honor him in every decision and action that you take. I would love to hear from you. How can you be a part of God's bigger story today? How can you point others to him, and how can you reflect him well? I would love to hear from you, so comment below and stay posted because we will have a new video to you next Monday.